Hi guys, in this video we're looking at volume in the context of prisms. But in this, firstly, I want to just as the same with perimeter and area, I want you to make sure that you know your conversions. And in this case with volume, we're looking at units cubed now. Okay, so if we had a cube, so basically all sides of a cube are all the same, so that means that's L, and that's L. The area, or sorry, the volume of a cube, so volume of a cube is basically L times L times L, which is L cubed. Okay, and so the units being cubed, if we had each of these two sides as 2 meters, we would have 2 meters times 2 meters times 2 meters, and 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. M times M times M is M cubed. So the volume of this cube is 8 meters cubed. Okay, so that's the context of units cubed for volume. And just as the same with area as well as perimeter, there are, I guess, want you to be really clear on how to convert from one volume measurement to another. So there's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer, but instead of converting from kilometers to meters, we're converting kilometers cubed to meters cubed. So you don't multiply just by 1,000, you're going to multiply by 1,000 cubed. And so if we expanded that, 1,000 cubed is going to be 1 billion, okay? And then if you're going backwards, going from meters cubed to kilometers cubed, you're going to divide by 1 billion, okay? And 1 billion has 9 zeros, so you're going to move the decimal place 9 times. The same thing with meters to centimeters cubed, okay? There is 100 centimeters into 1 meter, but we're not going to multiply by 100 going from meters cubed to centimeters cubed. We've got to multiply by 100 cubed. And so 100 cubed is actually 1,000,000. Okay, so I'm going to multiply by 1,000,000, or moving this decimal place 6 times, going from meters cubed to centimeters cubed. So if we're going backwards, we're not going to multiply by 1,000,000, we're going to divide by 1,000,000. Okay, so then lastly, if we're wanting to convert from centimeters cubed to millimeters cubed, we're not just going to multiply by 10 or divide by 10. We're going to multiply by 10 cubed, which means we're going to multiply by 1,000. And then going back from millimeters cubed to centimeters cubed, we're going to divide by 1,000. Okay, so moving the decimal place 3 times to the right or to the left. That's really important that you don't get that mixed up with area, and you don't get it mixed up with perimeter. Okay, so please have these conversion charts in your notes because it's really important that you know what you need to be doing. So looking at area of prisms, okay, a prism is I guess a 3D object that has the same shape all the way throughout. Okay, and so what we'll see, if we just look in this text here, we'll see we have a triangular prism, and the base is a triangle, and this goes all the way out. So there's your height. Think of Toblerone, and each piece of the Toblerone is still going to be a triangle. Each triangle is going to be the same shape as you keep on slicing it all the way down to the bottom. Okay, rectangular prism like this one here, it's kind of like a block of cheese. So here is your, I guess, the face, and then as you slice it every single time, you're going to have the exact same rectangle. Okay, and so that's going to be the area of your shape. Okay, so maybe say area of base, and then this is going to be your height. And hexagonal prism, your base is a hexagon, okay, and then this is going to be your height of how far that hexagon shape goes. With these three objects down the bottom, you'll see that there's a sphere. If you kept on slicing it, sure, you'll get a circle each time, but you'll notice that each circle is going to be a different size. So that's not going to be a prism. Same thing with the cone. Sure, you'll get a circle, but you're not going to get the same size circle each time. And then if you were to, I guess, slice it this way, you'll get a very, very different shape, and also in different sizes. Square base pyramid, if you were to slice it across, you'll get a square, but you're not going to get the same size square. So these aren't prisms, okay? So let's look at some of these examples here. These are all examples of prisms, and to get the not the area of prism, sorry, but it is the volume. So let's change that. So volume of prisms. We've got here, I guess we can call that a cube or a square. It doesn't really matter this side. Okay, this side here can go as long as possible, but here we've got a square, so you want to get the area of the base. And the area of the base is a square here. And we're going to multiply by the height. Okay. This formula for the volume of prisms is going to be the same, exactly the same with all types of prisms. So it doesn't really matter if it's a circle. So you're still going to get the area of a circle. And then you're going to multiply by the height. Okay. And you're going to have the area of a triangle. And you're going to multiply it by the height, okay, or how far that shape goes. Here we have a trapezium, and you need to identify the shape of the base. And then we're going to multiply it by the height. Okay, and so notice that the height, so the area of the base is already in units squared. You're going to multiply it by a third value, and then that's going to make it cubed. Okay, so the rule of thumb is basically the volume is the area of the base multiplied by the height. And here we have a really weird shape here, but again, it doesn't really matter. Whatever that shape is, if it's uniform, and if you keep slicing it, you get exactly the same shape, exactly the same size. It's going to be the area of the base times the height. Okay, we'll apply this to some examples, and hopefully it will help you throughout the process. Let's have a Okay, so let's have a look at some of these. We'll look at F, I, and L. So let's do that now. Okay, so here we have three different prisms. One is a cylinder. We've got the radius being 13 and the height being 9. So radius is 13, height is 9. The area of a circle, okay, is pi r squared. and then we're going to multiply that. So we want the volume, okay? We're going to multiply that by 9. So let's just work out the area of a circle first, okay? The radius, we got 13. So we got pi times 13 squared, which is 169, and pi times 169 is 531. So let's just round it up. 531 centimeters squared. So that's the area of the base, okay? It's the area of that shape there. So that 531, we're going to multiply by the height, which is 9. So 531 times 9 gives us 4779. 4779 centimeters cubed, okay? Because this is centimeters squared and this is centimeters. So centimeters squared times centimeters gives you centimeters cubed. All right. Next question, we have a triangular prism. So we're wanting to work out the area of that base, and we're going to multiply it by how far it goes. The area of a triangle is going to be base times height divided by 2. And the base is 8. The height of the triangle is 10. And we're going to multiply it by 2, which gives us 40 meters squared. Okay, so the volume of this triangular prism is going to be 40 meters squared times the height, which is 8 meters, and 40 times 8 is 320. Meters squared times meters is meters cubed. All right. And then lastly, what we have here is we have a rectangular prism. Notice that we don't have a square, but the base, we can work that out here. Or sorry, the rectangular base is going to be there. So the area of the rectangle is length times width. We know that we're going to multiply it by the height. Okay, so what we could effectively do is the volume of our rectangular prism is your length times your width times your height. So that means 1.25 times 1 times 1.5 is going to be 1.875. 1.875 meters cubed as your volume. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.